Regarding the cost of higher education, funding for higher education has been cut several years in a row now in Missouri. Do you support the tobacco tax increase on the November ballot? And do you think the state's colleges and universities need more money?
I don't support the tax increase, excuse me, and I'll tell you why. I've traveled all 114 counties, and I see families with despair in their eyes, worried about $3.75 a gallon gas, putting food on their tables, worried about tomorrow, worried about if their job's going to be there, worried if they could even give a better life to their kids. So no, I don't support any tax increases at this point. On higher education, we've cut it 3 years in a row. To me, that's equivalent of cutting the sales force when sales are down. I would fight for the reinstalling the higher education cuts that our governor has done 3 years in a row. I know we had to increase tuitions this year because of those, and that puts more on the backs of hard-working Missouri families. They're struggling already. I think it's a matter of priorities. It's a matter of looking at tax credits. Lift up every rock in this state and see how we do things. We take in $24 billion and we can't fund our higher education. There is something wrong.
Jim Higgins.
Okay, yeah, education, are the tax increases? No, I don't think so. You know, that's considered, you know, tax on tobacco is considered a sin tax. And we shouldn't try to influence behavior, you know, with our tax policies. Our tax policies are to generate revenue. It shouldn't try to influence what people buy and what they don't. So, you know, the tax tax on tobacco should be the same as any other tax. And the schools, yeah, it seems like the more we subsidize the schools, the higher the tuition goes up. I mean, they don't pass on, you know, if we subsidize schools too much, they don't pass that tuition savings on to the students. They just increase their bottom line. So they need to, the higher education needs to come up with innovative ways and creative ways to cut costs and deliver a quality education, but they shouldn't have to rely on the state to do that.
Jay Nixon.
Thank you. I don't think a tax increase is the appropriate way to fund our higher education. That being said, the public deserves a vote on it. On matters such as this, it's important for the public to have that vote and to have their voice heard directly at the ballot box, and we will await their decision in November. As far as higher education, we have done some very strong things. We have held our tuition increases to the lowest in the nation. We've expanded dramatically our A+ program. More than 150 schools have been added to that two-year scholarship program. 65,000 more students now can compete for those two-year tuition-free scholarships. We fund our Access and Bright Flood, so the smart kids that have an opportunity to stay here in the Show-Me State, we're out there recruiting to get them. And we have worked hard to get strategic funding into our higher education. Just yesterday, I announced an additional $1 million of nursing dollars that's going to go to expand nursing facilities, and noted what we've done in the last 3 years in our Caring for Missourians initiative, where we invested $40 million to get over 1,200 more medical degrees for jobs that exist right now. So strategic investments in higher education, that, like our Innovation Campus, which is going to shorten the time that kids take to get out of college, our Training for Tomorrow, our Mo Health Wins, focusing the dollars we have and getting funding in those schools that can get a direct output is really important.